Name's Thomas. It's too cold to be out here alone. Come back to town with me.
The rain was falling hard that October night when Jackson Hayes drove his truck down the empty road near Willow Creek. He had just finished a long meeting with his lawyer about custody papers. His ex-wife had left 2 years ago without looking back, she said. Ranching life was not meant for her, she said. Motherhood was a mistake. She packed one suitcase and disappeared forever. Jackson was left alone with 3 little boys. Liam was 8 years old. Noah was 6. Little Ethan had just turned 4. These 3 boys were his entire world. He worked hard on his 5,000-acre ranch. He hired nannies and helpers. But none of them stayed longer than a few months. The loneliness of ranch life scared them away. The responsibility of 3 energetic boys exhausted them. That rainy night changed everything. Jackson noticed an old blue car parked near the closed elementary school. The windows were foggy. He almost drove past it. But something made him stop. Maybe it was instinct. Maybe it was fate. He pulled his truck beside the car and looked through the window. A young woman was sleeping in the back seat. She had a thin blanket wrapped around her shoulders. Her brown hair covered half her face. On the passenger seat, he saw a small suitcase and some books, teaching books. Jackson knocked on the window gently. The woman woke up startled. Fear filled her green eyes for a moment. Then she rolled down the window, just a little bit. "Are you okay, miss?" Jackson asked softly. "I am fine. Just resting," she replied quickly. "It is pouring rain and freezing cold. You cannot sleep in your car." I said, "I am fine." Jackson looked at her carefully. She was trying to appear strong, but he could see the tiredness in her eyes. He could see she had not eaten properly in days. "My name is Jackson Hayes. I own the ranch about 10 miles from here. At least, come get some hot food and dry clothes. The storm is getting worse." The woman hesitated. Every instinct told her not to trust strangers, but the cold was unbearable. Her car heater had stopped working 3 days ago. "I am Emma Sullivan," she finally said. "I was supposed to start a teaching job here, but the school lost funding. The position was canceled after I had already driven 600 miles. I spent my last money on gas to get here." Jackson felt something heavy in his chest. Life had been cruel to this woman. "Please, just for tonight. My housekeeper, Mrs. Etta. My housekeeper, Mrs. Grand. Patterson makes the best chicken soup in Texas. Tomorrow we can figure out a plan." Emma looked at the rain hitting her windshield. She looked at her empty wallet. She had no choice. "Okay, just for tonight." She followed his truck to the ranch. When they arrived, Emma could not believe her eyes. The house was enormous, beautiful wooden architecture, with warm lights glowing from every window. This man was not just a rancher. He was wealthy. Mrs. Even was wealthy. Patterson welcomed Emma like she was family. The old woman gave her warm clothes and hot soup. Emma felt human again for the first time in weeks. Then she heard little footsteps running down the stairs. 3 boys appeared in the kitchen doorway. They wore matching pajamas with horses on them. The youngest one was rubbing his sleepy eyes. "Daddy, who is the lady?" little Ethan asked. "This is Miss Emma. She is a teacher. She is staying with us tonight because of the storm." Liam, the oldest boy, looked at Emma with curious eyes. "A real teacher. Can you help me with my reading homework? I am struggling with big words." Emma smiled for the first time in days. "Of course I can help you." That night, Emma sat with the 3 boys in the living room. She helped Liam with his reading. She taught Noah how to count by fives. She read a bedtime story to little Ethan, who fell asleep in her lap. Jackson watched from the doorway. His heart felt something it had not felt in years: peace. The next morning, the storm had passed. Emma was ready to leave. She had no idea where she would go, but she could not impose on strangers any longer. Jackson found her near her car. "Where will you go?" he asked. "I will figure something out. Maybe drive to the next town. Look for work." "With what money, Emma? You told me you have nothing left." Emma felt tears building in her eyes. She hated feeling this helpless. She was a proud woman. She had worked hard her entire life. Growing up in foster care had taught her to survive alone. She put herself through college. She earned her teaching degree. And now life had knocked her down again. "I have survived worse," she whispered. Jackson took a deep breath. What he was about to say sounded crazy, even to him. But he had thought about it all night. He had watched how his boys connected with her. He had seen Ethan fall asleep peacefully in her arms. That little boy had nightmares every single night. But last night he slept like an angel. "What if you stayed?" Emma looked at him confused. "I have a proposition for you, Emma. It might sound strange, but please hear me out." She waited silently. "My boys need a mother, not a nanny who leaves after 2 months, not a stranger who sees them as a paycheck. They need someone who cares. Last night, I watched you with them. You have a gift. They felt safe with you. Jackson, I do not understand what you are saying. I am asking you to marry me." Emma stepped back in shock. "You cannot be serious. We met 12 hours ago. I am completely serious. This would be a partnership, a practical arrangement. You need a home. My boys need a mother. I will give you everything you need. Financial security, a beautiful home, respect. In return, you help me raise my sons. But marriage is about love, Jackson. You do not even know me. I know enough. I know you slept in your car rather than asking strangers for help. I know you helped my boys with homework before even eating dinner yourself. I know Ethan slept through the night for the first time in 2 years because you held him. Character matters more than history, Emma, and your character speaks loudly." Emma's mind was spinning. This was insane. People did not do things like this in real life. But what was her alternative? Sleeping in her car until winter came. Starving while searching for jobs that did not exist. What if it does not work? What if your boys end up hating me? They will not. I saw the way they looked at you. Children sense goodness, Emma. They know who is real and who is pretending. And what about us? What happens between you and me? Jackson looked into her eyes, honestly. "I will not lie to you. I am not looking for romance. My ex-wife destroyed my ability to trust. But I will treat you with kindness and respect always. Maybe friendship will grow. Maybe something more with time. I am not closing any doors. I am just being honest about where I stand today." Emma looked at the big ranch house. She looked at her broken car. She thought about her empty future. Then she thought about those 3 little faces. Liam, who wanted help with reading. Noah, who loved counting games. Little Ethan, who needed someone to hold him at night. Maybe this was fate. Maybe the universe had brought her to this exact place for a reason. "Can I have one condition?" she asked quietly. "Name it. If I ever feel unsafe or unhappy, I can leave freely. No questions asked." "Absolutely. I would never trap you, Emma. This has to work for both of us." She ended her hand to shake his. Then I accept your proposal, Jackson Hayes. He took her hand and shook it firmly. Welcome to the family, Emma Sullivan. 6 months passed slowly and beautifully. Emma transformed that ranch house into a real home. She helped the boys with school every day. She attended their baseball games and school plays. She cooked breakfast with Mrs. Patterson. She planted flowers in the garden. The boys started calling her Mama after 3 months. The first time Ethan said it, Emma cried happy tears in her room. Jackson watched this woman change his entire world. She brought laughter back into his home. She brought structure and warmth. He found himself looking forward to dinner conversations. He found himself smiling more. One evening they sat on the porch watching the sunset together. "Emma, I need to tell you something," Jackson said nervously. "What is it?" I said I was not looking for romance when we made this deal. I said my heart was closed. Emma felt her chest tighten. Was he ending their arrangement? But I was wrong, he continued. You opened something in me I thought was dead forever. I am falling in love with you, Emma. Real love, not arrangement love, not practical love, the kind of love that keeps me awake at night. Tears rolled down Emma's cheeks. I have been feeling the same way, Jackson. But I was scared to say anything. I did not want to complicate our arrangement. He took her hands in his. Forget the arrangement. I want to be your real husband. I want to build a real life with you. Will you let me love you properly, Emma Sullivan? She laughed through her tears. Yes, Jackson Hayes. 1,000 times yes. He kissed her forehead gently as the sun disappeared behind the mountains. Inside the house, 3 little boys watched through the window. They high-fived each other quietly. I told you the plan would work, Liam whispered proudly. You were right, big brother. Noah agreed. Little Ethan just smiled his innocent smile. We have a mama now. A real one. And indeed they did. The homeless teacher, who lost everything, found more than shelter that rainy night. She found a family. She found purpose. She found love. And the cowboy who thought his heart was permanently broken learned the most important lesson of all. Sometimes the greatest blessings arrive during our darkest storms. We just need to be brave enough to open our doors and let them in.